Hey ABC, it's Greeno. It's been a little while, huh? Probably about 4 or 5 weeks since the last video. So definitely a lot of stuff to show, and it's pretty much all metal. And it's everything, what's been spinning, and some new things. I haven't been ordering a bunch. Actually just been kind of chilling, cutting back, and actually going through the collection and weeding out stuff. Mainly just going through the miscellaneous rock section right now. I've gotten, and I pulled out over 200 records and traded in probably maybe 50 of them, 40, somewhere around in there. Picked up some cool stuff, some reissues. Some will pop up in this stack here. But kind of cutting back on participating in the VC, and mainly because of just time restraints, busy and all that. But also just to concentrate on, weeding the collection out. I need to get it down a little bit and just, stuff that's cool, but I'm probably never going to spin again. So just, like I said, just pulling stuff out. My goal is to get rid of maybe between 1,000 and 2,000 records. And like I said, I'm up over 200 now, so on my way. But anyways, let's jump into this. Oh, and I wanted to say also the last video, thanks for everybody who commented. I don't think I got back to anybody, and I apologize. And like I said, just time constraints. So, and if I don't get back to you on this one, I apologize again. Anyways, let's jump into it. First up, Paga Nene. I think this was their debut album, Weapon of Love. These guys were out of Sweden or Switzerland. I can't remember. I think Sweden. It's mid-80s. There's the band. Pretty cool, kind of melodic, hard rock metal. Definitely some cool stuff on here. I have their second album too, and I've had these forever. Just pulled this one out to spin. I hadn't heard it in a long time. I might pull the second one out. I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard that one either for a while. Another one just pulled out for the hell of it. Ram It Down, Judas Priest. Great album. Just hadn't heard it forever. Same deal here. Made in Japan. There's the inner ring. Just, everybody knows this stuff. Classic. This was in the Just In pile for a long time. Winnie O. Williams, Plasmatics, Maggots, the record. And to be honest, I didn't know this that well. And to be honest, not the greatest album. Might need to spin it some more. Definitely prefer the earlier Plasmatic stuff over this. Next, can't remember where these dudes were from. Saint. I think they're kind of like a Christian-ish heavy metal band. It's on Pure Metal. Cool. I had this on CD for a long time. It was reissued back in the early 2000s, I think, on CD. And I came across the vinyl probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so. And I just pulled this out, spin. Freaking classic. The debut EP from Queensryche. The first two Queensryche are the best two Queensryche for me, in my opinion. This and The Warning. Love those two. Got this a few months back. I don't think I've shown it yet, but finally ready to put it into the collection. It's Accept, Staying Alive. And I've had this on CD, and it got reissued on vinyl. Had to grab it. Basically, I think this is the Budokan, or the, not Budokan, what's the live EP? It's totally going out of my head. The live EP that come out right after Metal Heart. And I love that thing. I can't think of the title now. But I think this is basically that full show. Or at least from that tour. And this come out on Back on Black. I think this actually first came out on CD in the 90s. And this is the first time I'd ever seen it on vinyl. So I had to grab that. It's going to bug me. I cannot think of that except the live EP, the title. Ugh. Oh well. I grabbed this, the second album from Hellhound, Metal Fire from Hell. And I talked about these guys. They reissued this album. This is their second album, and the debut, which is Flying V Attack. Is that the name of it? Oh, that might not be right either. Man, I'm so burnt out and out of practice on these videos. But anyways, the vinyl. This is very cool. Not as good as the first album, but still killer. This is on Diabolic Might Records, and it was limited to 500. And these come out in like 2005, 2006, somewhere around in there. Originally come out on CD. I haven't had them since they come out. I really dig this band, Japanese band, total old school, metal band, and they sit like singing about metal. But very cool band. I have an original of this, but went ahead and picked up one of the reissues. It's The Curse from Omen. This is one of the Metal Blade reissues, and they're fantastic. Very nicely done. Right down to the inner sleeve. But sounds great. Classic old band. Next, band from Italy, if I remember right. Vanadium, Game Over. This was their second album, I want to say. That may be wrong. But cool band. Mid-80s. Just metal. Another reissue. Just got in not long ago on Cult Metal Classics. Rising Inside the Universe. And this was a band from Spain. And basically were active during the new wave of British heavy metal kind of years there, towards whatever, 81, 82, 83. They put out one single, and then maybe later on another one, but I don't know if it was all the same band. It was like years later, all the same band members. But anyways, this has the first single on it and demo stuff. Pretty cool. Next, got this a while back too. It's Sikkema, I think is how you say it. Sikkema 2. It's their debut album. And I put that little strip in there so I could remember, because it's not written in English anywhere on the album cover. And I came across 2 or maybe 3 albums by these guys online for a reasonable price. I went ahead and grabbed them. Cool Japanese metal. I got a thing for Japanese metal, so I had to grab it. Okay, next up, Niagara, Now or Never. And pretty cool. It's on Killer Watt. These guys were from Spain, which make... I think these guys were from Sweden. I'm sorry. When I said Spain for Niagara, it kind of made me think. I think I was wrong on Rising. But anyways, melodic, hard rock stuff. Pretty cool. Nothing mind-blowing. I just pulled this out. I hadn't heard it forever. David T Chastain, Instrumental Variations. Chastain, killer guitar player out of Ohio. Of course, he was, David T Chastain, which was the instrumental releases. Then you had Chastain, which was like a full-on band with a singer, with Leather Leone, female singer, fantastic singer. And CJSS, which was kind of like a underground supergroup kind of deal. But he's very good guitar player. I'm not big on instrumental music, on guitar wankers. It's very impressive, but it bores the shit out of me after about 5 minutes. He's really not quite kind of like that. He definitely he puts a little more into writing the songs, not just structure and stuff, so he can play leads over top of it, basically. But cool. Next, the classic Alice Cooper Killer. Don't need to say much about that. It's on a green Warner. Got a couple copies of this, and this is the last one I picked up because it's in really good shape. For some reason, this is one of those records I had trouble finding like a killer, no pun intended, copy. Next, Acid Rain, Moschkenstein. Cool stuff, kind of that crossover kind of band, you know, in a DRI-ish, whatever you want to say, hardcore, metal, punk thing. Some Combat. Next, Blind Fury, Out of Reach. And these dudes are part of the Satan family tree. So are they Satan? Are they Pariah? Are they Blind Fury? No, they're Satan. Where does Blitzkrieg fit in there? So it's all part of that. Cool, kind of that new wave-ish British heavy metal thing going on. You know, name changes, members changing, all that stuff. Part of some of the stuff I traded in, grabbed a couple boots. I am not a big solo Danzig fan. I like the first album, that's it. Don't like the rest of the albums, no big deal. But came across this. It's called Soul on Fire, live at the Hollywood Hollywood Palace. It's an FM broadcast from 1989, 2 LP set. It's like $22, pretty reasonable. Jumped on it with some trade money I had. Looked cool. It's on Bad Joker. Sounds pretty good. And again, that's the era I like. You know, when the first album come out. So, and also jumped on this, The Hungry Beast, Iron Maiden. And it's pretty wacky. It's not bad. It's Germany, April 29th, 1982. Which, okay, the back looks cool. Sounds about right. Front cover is basically a newer picture, you know, within the last, 10 years at some point. Why did you put that on the cover of a show from 1982? I don't know. But there's only 5 tracks on here, so I figure it's just, you know, half a show, whatever. But doesn't sound bad at all. Pretty cool. Except there may be a little bit of a speed issue on this release. It sounds to me a little slow. And I checked my turntable even, and it wasn't the turntable. Just Dickinson's voice sounds a little low and kind of weird on here at points. So, I don't know. But, happy to have it. And actually, I wouldn't let that deter me from picking it up. Yeah, it's not enough to, tell you, skip it, ain't worth it. But it definitely has a weirdness to it. I don't know what it was, man. I think there was a speed issue. Okay, next is Hydrovein. They were from the UK. And I think this was their first release. Rather Death Than False Faith. And this is a reissue, 2 LP reissue. It's only 3 sides. The 4th side is just blank. But I have an original of this, but when I kind of went ahead and grabbed it, it looked cool. It had some bonus stuff on it. This is like kind of full-on Slayer love, back in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. And, yeah, very cool. The bonus stuff on here, which is like demos from 87. I think the original album came out in 86, and then the demo, or 88, the demos were from 87, the year before, whatever. But usually I'm to the point now with the bonus stuff on records, CDs, whatever. It's like, just leave it off unless it's something really good. Yeah, if it's recorded from a practice on a boombox in 1981, you can kind of leave that off. Chances are I may listen to a second of it. I'm never going to listen to it again. But anyways, the demo on here is fantastic. It's as good as the regular album. Totally, this is an example of, doing it right with the bonus stuff, the bonus material. Well worth it. And that's a pretty cool freaking album. Next, a new release from Northwest Metalworks, Cruella, Vengeance is Mine. Very cool. Had this on bootleg CD for a while. I think it's a bootleg CD. But saw it coming out on vinyl. Had to pick it up. And Northwest Metalworks does a killer job. And this was limited to 500. You can still get it off their website. Very cool band out of the Northwest, you know, up around Washington, Oregon, and all that. And that's what Northwest Metalworks specializes in, is hard rock, heavy metal bands, you know, from the Northwest. And that one's definitely worth checking out. Very cool band. Very cool record. Next up, last one in this stack, and then another small stack. Got this one to come out, finally spun it. Battle Cry, Judas Priest, the live from the last tour cycle, whatever. It's a good live Judas Priest, nothing wrong with it, very cool. Sounds great. Alright, grab this other handful. We're almost done. Alright, let's finish this up here. Next up, Exhume, Possessed by Fire. Killer 80s German thrash. And this is a reissue. I think it was High Roller reissue. I think I just saw, was it Steve, Harmless Rebel, showed this killer record. I think it was that one. Next, Attack, The Secret Place. Another reissue. German, traditional, early power metal, you know, that you would hear in the, coming into the 90s, whatever. Very cool band. And just pulled out an old one to spin, Pleasures of the Flesh, Exodus, on Combat. Everybody knows that. I pulled this out, Walking Razor's Edge, Helix. I dig Helix, man. Great band. Canadian. Motorhead, Orgasmatron. Hadn't spun this forever. Pulled it out to give it a spin. Overdrive, Swords and Axes. These guys were Sweden. Is that right? Second album. Cool band. Damn, man, I'm so burnt. I'm pretty sure it's Sweden. It's awful. Next, Korean pressing of Marching Out from Yngwie Malmsteen, Rising Force. This is a Korean press. Different cover. Different cover, still a cool record. Motorhead, No Sleep Til Hammersmith. Classic live. Don't need to say much about that either. One of the reissues I've picked up here lately with the trade-ins. Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. And I kind of mentioned before, you know, I don't think I've shown this. I don't think in that last video. Maybe this did pop up. I can't remember. But anyways, I'm kind of new to them. Not that I hadn't checked them out here and there over the years and back in the day. I remember when Cold Lake came out and I was like, what the, you know. That one kind of, not that I was even a fan of them, but even I was like, well, what the hell is going on? These guys are doing like a 180. But anyways, really dug this. I don't know if I've really heard it in its entirety until picking this up. I have Into the Pandemonium. I've had that, an original of that for a long time, but I'd never had this. But I really like this. This is really cool. So, and probably everybody knows that record but me. I'm checking it out. And the last one, a reissue, kind of blew me away. Super happy to see this pop up. Assassin, License to Kill. Basically, it was a private press band out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, if I remember right. And this was released, Alone Records put it out under a license from Heaven and Hell Records. Anyways, only 250 of them made, pressed on vinyl. Very cool. I've had to have this on a bootleg CD forever. It's one of those U.S. metal bootlegs. I think come out of Greece like 15 years ago or whatever, and they would put like three records like this, you know, these private press onto one disc, and man, they did like 20 or 30 of those CDs are killer. But anyways, so I was definitely familiar with this, and I saw it pop up as a reissue on from one of the places I order from, and I couldn't click buy now fast enough. Killer record. That's kind of it. Excuse me. Like I said, a lot of stuff just spinning, pulling out of the collection, and some new stuff. Probably another month or so before I do another video. Kind of falling into that trend, I guess, here lately. Definitely more to show during the trade-ins. Picked up some other killer stuff. The Celtic Frost, some Creator. A couple of the Creator reissues. I was on the fence on those because I don't have much by them. And I picked up the reissues, checked one of them out, and I realized the reason I don't have much by them is I don't like Creator. I don't know what it is about that band. I think it's just the vocals. The music's cool, but I just can't do the vocals, man. It's on that edge. I've talked about it before. I don't like the extreme metal, the vocals, the black metal, death metal, screaming stuff, whatever. And Creator's kind of vocally in there with that for me. It was kind of cool to get the reissues. I'll throw them into the collection, but I'm not a fan of Creator. I'll just say it now. I don't like Creator. But that's no big deal. You know, plenty of people do. But anyways, that's it. So probably, like I said, see you in another month or so. Hopefully I have a bunch more records pulled off the shelf and traded in and have some other crap to show. So I hope everybody in the VC's doing well. And shout outs to everybody, man. I try and catch videos here and there. I'm definitely not catching everything. But the ones I'm seeing are, you know, great as usual. So, yeah, VC still going strong. So, alright, that's it. Later, VC.